choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
Good morning, Syndicate. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope y'all are good. Colby, can you hear me, dude?
Yeah, I hear you.
Make sure volume's good. I love it, dude. And if any of y'all just want to, what up, Joe? So let me know you can hear us. And appreciate y'all getting on. I got my buddy Colby Landman in here before, after workout, before Thanksgiving's turkey.
Yes, sir.
We were texting, and both of us were at the gym. So I'm like, I'm not surprised you were there. And I don't know, Joe, I see you're on, dude. I always hear you say you got to like approve this thing to accept your comments. I don't really know what that means, but they all show up Facebook users. So if y'all see something to approve it, do it. If you put comments in here, or questions, y'all can put questions along the way. And we're actually live. Like some people go like, you're actually going to do this on Thanksgiving? I'm like, dude, it's just a Thursday. Like, yep. Maddox is running around in his underwear still. Steph's getting ready. Like, well, yeah, we're going to do it. You know, but appreciate you getting on, dude. Excited to chat with you for a few. And thanks, Joe. I don't know. Joe will tell you because I don't know how to approve that stuff. I don't even know how to comment, Joe. Just FYI, it doesn't even let me post comments. So you're gonna have to teach me this stuff. We're just rolling with it. But dude, happy you're on. You know, this is a Facebook group that my buddy Joe and Tony run, and they do their best to serve agents all across the country in all different lines of insurance. It's not just life, business, which is obviously mainly what we do. You know, so it's people from all different walks of the business, just trying to, you know, work together, get better, help each other improve. So I thought I'd get you on. There's the beauty of what I do today, man, is I've been blessed to get a lot of help in this industry. And, you know, now I get to watch a lot of people. Honestly, I get to watch a lot of people quit. And then I get a few people, man, not many people inspire me, just to be honest, today. But dude, watching what you're doing is like, I love it. It's super inspiring to me, watching what you're doing, not only from an insurance perspective, dude, but I get a little glimpse into your life through social media. You're something's changed with you in this year. And I haven't known you long. But it's fun to watch, dude. So I'm gonna let you share a little bit with these guys and girls here today. Give yourself a little introduction, a little bit about who you are. I would love to know what you did before this, dude, because I'll be honest, I don't even know. I don't know what you did before insurance.
Yeah. So, well, obviously, like, you know, so it starts with your childhood, right? I had a kind of a crazy childhood. Parents divorced super early on, dealt with a lot of like mental and physical abuse growing up. But once I got to the point where, you know, I could kind of hold my own, it was like that. My parents had like when I was in high school, had a crazy, like, you know, separation. My stepmom and my dad, who were together for a super long time, and me and my siblings had to grow up extremely fast. I had dreams of going to college for football. So I played from like the time I was 7 all the way to high school.
Okay.
Broke my collarbone when I was like in my senior year. Decided to go to work. Couldn't play anymore that season. So
what were you doing for work right before this?
I was I worked at a rock quarry for quality control. So that's what I did for the next 4 years, like straight out of high school.
Okay.
So, yeah, like I started as a groundman, like shoveling dust underneath the conveyor belts, back onto the conveyor belts and stuff underneath the crushers.
Really?
Yeah, so like I did that for.
Is that like that thing where they like dig for gold and stuff, like those shows, like blowing stuff up to get?
We did it for granite, and
Okay.
quartz.
Yes.
But yeah,
Same concept.
yeah. So I did
Tough
that.
work.
Worked my way up to the office. Was able to buy a house and stuff like in that time frame, in those 4 years. So now I have, I had a house and stuff. I always had dreams of being an entrepreneur. So while I was working that corporate job, I did a couple side businesses, like I tried Amazon FBA, tried a digital marketing agency,
Got it.
like just a lot of odds and ends, wholesaling, stuff like that. But once I saw I needed ACL surgery. So I knew what I was about to go out. Like I knew I was about to go out for work for about like 3 months.
Got it.
So I scheduled my surgery, and while I was out for my surgery, I decided to get my insurance license, because while I was at the job, I saw like on social media about FFL. I saw
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah. So I saw a TikTok about the CRM, and
No kidding.
yeah, that when I saw that you could literally, and Atlanta was hot, like Atlanta was lit up red. So it was like, dude, I live in Atlanta. The Georgia is extremely red. Obviously, these people are asking for something, and they need people to fill the order. So I was like, okay, I can do this. So I scheduled my ACL surgery. Went and got my ACL surgery. While I was laid out, got my license, like took the test and everything.
Who'd you hit up here? Who posted?
It got me connected to Caleb, and then like,
you're in Basso's group, right? Caleb and Basso? Okay,
yeah.
dope.
It got me connected to Caleb, and then Matt Borsch was
okay. Oh, got it.
Yeah, and Ryan Costco.
Cool. Yeah, dope guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad I was able to meet them. They've helped me so much through the business and stuff. But literally, once I saw the way that leads are, like the way you purchase leads, the way that people are asking for a service, and you just you fulfill the order, I was like, dude, let's make it happen. So
when was that? When did you get started?
So I technically got my license in the end of October, like last year. So a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just over a year right now.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Cool. When did we meet? When was that? Do you remember?
I was like,
what? I know it was at an event.
It was like a month or two after the convention, I think. Like
okay, so it was just like 8 months ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
That was I think it was our March or April event we did here in Atlanta, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, dude, here's the thing, man. I always want to help people figure that they can get from a really crappy spot to wherever they want to be with this business. Mm-hmm. Give them some perspective of where you were then, because I didn't know you from a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
I definitely know you weren't in a good spot that day.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? It's weird because like you didn't know me at all, but I felt like I knew you. Like I watched so much trainings and stuff going through the stuff. So I felt like I knew you guys in a way.
Yeah.
But so when I was at the conference, I was at a point where I'd used my mortgage for my leads. I had basically
used your mortgage money for leads. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I basically exhausted all of my funds. Was like $7,000 in credit card debt, and basically was at the lowest point financially. But I was at I knew I was at an intersection to where if I stuck around these people, I would eventually end up like them, and none of them are starving for money. So
you knew that day? Did you believe that day?
You guys. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's money in the business, right? So I was like, okay, I know I'm on the right track. I just know that there's obstacles and, stuff in the way of getting there. And if I just had a little bit more like money, if I just had a little bit more, I could get there. you know. So
Hey,
I decided to use everything that I had to get to the conference. I got there with like $20 in my account left. And then I was like, well, I've got to make something out of it. I can't just not talk to anybody. I can't just drive all the way here and then not talk to anybody. So I was
yeah.
like, okay, I want to talk to John. So I mustered up, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to John. And then when I started talking to you, and then you just started like kind of asking me questions about the business and how it's going, it just got like, overwhelming. So I was
Yeah.
just, I decided to let it out. And from that point, it's been up, buddy.
You did let it out. I remember you telling me I think if I remember it exactly, I know the end part, but I think you had appointments booked the next day already.
Yeah. Yeah. I already had
And you
appointments
told
on
me,
book. Yeah.
do you remember what you told me about those appointments the next day? Do you remember?
That I didn't know how I was going to get to them
Why?
because I was out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
damn. And you
Yeah.
still booked appointments. There's a lot of people who would have curled up and died in that moment. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was super inspiring for me to see you at a critical moment in your life. And literally, I didn't know you from a hole in the wall. Like, we just met.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was like excited for you in a way. And I'll be honest, I don't remember exactly what I said or what the conversation was because I remember pieces of it. But obviously, I have a lot of conversations over the years. And most people, just being real, most people crumble at that moment. You know what I mean? So I don't hear from a lot of people after. I don't get to follow or watch it. And it's been cool to watch you from that moment of like literally not knowing how you were going to put gas in your car to run your appointments the next day to now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're at about 300 grand this year ish.
Yeah, I'm on the way. On the way. We'll finish at over 300 for sure.
Bro. That was April. Does it
Yeah.
make sense? Like y'all watching, like he didn't have gas money in April.
No.
And he's talking about 300 grand in November. So how do you get there, man? Give some people, and by the way, what are you, 23?
Yeah.
23?
Yeah, I turned 23 in June.
23?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Well, one, congrats, because it's dope already. And it's like I'm also watching you like work on yourself a lot.
yeah.
If y'all don't follow him on social, you should. I don't think you post an overwhelming amount necessarily, but what you post is pretty cool. And dude, your routine right now is on point. I'm like, he went from this scrawny little sucker with no gas money to like ripped in 6 months. I'm like, so mentally you must be in a great spot. So give him some perspective, man. What'd you do to get there? What changed? How do you get there from someone else watching? Because there's someone else here watching is like in the same spot,
Yeah. So the problem that I had before starting at FFL is I never knew my path. Like I didn't know how I was going to get to where I knew I was meant to be. So like it just felt like I was, kind of running in circles, so it was super discouraging to force yourself out of your comfort zone every day when you don't know necessarily where you're going. Right. But once I got to FFL and I started surrounding myself with people like you guys and started pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, even when I didn't have, I wasn't in a comfort zone to begin with. Like I was constantly in a state of what's going to happen. Like we got to make something happen, for at least 4 or 5 months. I felt like I was in a constant state of like kind of fight or flight, So once I got here and I had the ability to surround myself with you guys, I had to acknowledge, okay, everything is you, right? So like you have to look at everything from a perspective of what your actions are. And I heard like John Maxwell say, your actions create your habits create your character, and your character creates your destiny. And so that's what I was literally like. Yeah, once I discovered, like once I literally heard that one time and it stuck with me forever. But once I heard that and I was able to surround myself with people like you and learn from people and just see that you guys have already went from you did it a lot harder way than I did it. I got lucky to come in with the CRM and stuff, but I'm just saying, like, to see that you guys could create it in the like, when I went to convention and I saw you all are a team, like, even though we're all competitive and we're obviously all want a commission, but we're all supporting each other. We're all a team and we all really drive for success.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is the right place to be. I have to be here, and I have to get myself to a level to where I can surround myself with them. Because I can't be the one in the group dragging everybody down. I can't be the one not going to the gym. I can't be the one not producing at a high level. I can't be the one not building a team. So okay, come on.
So would you do though, like would you change? I think that's the problem. Like, I think a lot of people know what they need to do. And I also believe most people know the things they're doing that are holding them back. But there's this decision you got to make to do stuff different every day. What are some of those things you decide to do different, man, daily? To sell insurance. I know mentally, you know what I mean? To like get out, like, what'd you have to turn on?
Definitely so I had to treat this like a job in a way. Like, I had to discipline myself to where I was my boss, So there wasn't an excuse of like, I couldn't lay in the bed. I was like, dude, if this was my job, I would be fired. I can't be a bad employee to myself. So I had to change that mentality and made sure that I was, basically, I have a good ability to disassociate and like kind of, it's a gift and a curse at the same time, but I can just kind of,
I understand, bro.
Yeah. So
I understand.
So I mean, once I had the ability to really look at myself and tell myself what to do, then that's when everything changed.
Did you have people in your world telling you like this wasn't going to work, or it was stupid, or you should go back to a job, or what was that like for you?
Yeah, that was one of the toughest parts too. And that was actually part of our conversation when I talked to you at convention, was because my dad and everybody was telling me, it's not going to work. You don't have gas money. Why are you still trying to do this? Get a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's you already failed at it. But to me, like, if you have a lead coming in, buddy, that one lead, you haven't failed, because I'm telling you, that one lead can be 4 or 5 families in one house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I've had situations in the business where literally that has happened, where I thought, I'm done. If I don't make a sale in this house, if I don't protect this family, I'm done. And then you walk out and it's a his and hers for 180 and 210 bucks a month, and you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just changes your life whenever you just have the ability to keep pushing and know that there's opportunity around the corner if you just see it through,
Yeah, that's gotta be tough, dude. Having people, I'll be honest, because people ask this a lot. I've never had people in my world. They probably thought I was crazy, but kind of the way I've always been, I don't give a rip what anyone says in my world. So my family just lets me be me. You know what I mean? I'm sure they thought crazy stuff, but no one ever verbalized it to me. So I've never dealt with that. People be like, you shouldn't do that, because I literally don't care. Yeah. So I've just not heard it. Not that people didn't probably think it or say it. So I'm sure that had to be tough, dude. What's Dad think now?
I think he's surprised still, he probably still doesn't believe it's going to pan out all the way. He probably still doesn't see the full long-term vision, but he's definitely proud. Like, he tells me he's proud of me. So, I mean, I think he is, but, yeah, we're just, so my mom and my dad both dropped out in the 8th grade. And like, my family has never seen like wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always been paycheck to paycheck. Always, like, never seen like more than one. I don't know, just a time of wealth. We've never really seen that. So I feel it's my duty to change it, so.
I love it, dude. Hey, I'm gonna can you see this question up there from Joe? I assume you can see it.
What's a couple of things you're doing that has been able to help take your baby such a next?
Before you answer that, are you building a team, or is it just you right now?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of started building a team. I did start at the beginning, but I brought on a few warm market. I didn't spend the time that I needed to with them and push them every day, and yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
now I'm
Cool.
building a team
Yeah.
and I have people that that
Yeah.
we're growing. But
Cool.
yeah, take your agency to the next level outside of the CRM lead. So I did automate my leads. So like I found vendors who would lock out your counties, like lock out your area um, for leads. And I do a lot of mortgage protection in home.
Got it.
Um,
So you're
so
still out in the field. Do you do
yeah,
any virtual or no?
yeah, I do. Yeah,
A
well,
little bit.
yeah, a little bit in the car mainly. you
Got it.
know,
Got it. Got it. Got it.
yeah. But it's yeah, it's all in home really because why not? I'd rather be face to face. It's only an hour and a half drive. It's not that big
You
of a
ain't
deal.
gonna convince me, bro. I'm an in-home kind of guy.
Yes.
All the virtual stuff now, I'm like, let's get out there and work. I ain't mad at the people that do it. I just,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely incredible. But
yeah.
yeah. So I do a lot of in-home mortgage protection. I automate your leads. It gives you the ability to not stress about where your
You get
leads
them
are.
all on recurring orders. They come in all the time. Is
Yeah.
essentially what he means. You
Yeah.
do some fancy system. It's just they come in.
Yeah. Yeah. You
I love
pay
that.
$1,000 a week, whatever you need, for the leads. It just comes out. You don't have to go to the CRM and say, man, I got to pay another $1,000 today.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, anything else you're doing to like for recruiting or anything specific there to try to build that? What are you doing there?
Yeah, definitely working on optimizing my social media more. Obviously,
Yeah.
like the larger your audience, the bigger, the impact you can have. So definitely believe in social media. That's one of my biggest regrets is every day that I go, like I'll wake up and I'll be like, man, I didn't post, any of the TikToks or any of the Instagram reels or anything that I really, wanted to say or do. But I just didn't do it. I don't know why it's so, I don't know, hard to get started, but that's another thing I'm working on right now.
You overthinking it?
Yeah, I guess. I guess
Just post it, bro.
yeah.
Just post it. It's like when me and you were messaging the other day. You know what I mean? You were like, oh, I'm a little worried about what to say. I'm like, dude, we just say what we do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't post anything wrong if you're posting something. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what helped me? There's two things I'll share with you. Hopefully it helps you. I used to wonder, like, because I have a regret too. I didn't do social. Now, my excuse to validate it is social media wasn't what it is today when we started and we didn't know any better. We didn't see. So I sell myself on that to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
But the reality is, dude, at the time, I used to get caught up in like, I don't know what to say or what to post or what to do. Right. That was a big hang up for me. And what changed is like, I assume you get questions regularly.
Yeah.
Like, how do I, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, make that your content, bro. Does that make sense? Like if someone, what I started doing was if someone like you came to me and asked me a question, I would just make a video on it. Or if a client had a question, you could just make a video on it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So keep it really simple. And then one day you want to get creative. But you should have questions about every day at your stage from someone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just cheat and use that.
Yeah. That's another thing I haven't even like really forced or like paid attention to is just, it seems like you're going to post your first video and then you're going to get like 100,000 followers from the first video or a whole bunch of likes from your first video, but it's a constant grind. It's 8 videos a day. Like, it's constantly posting and constantly grinding nonstop. Yeah. And that's another thing I've got to
just do it. Trying to figure it out, dude. I post every day on every platform. We still go like some days, but you know what's funny is if I don't post, people are like, "You all right? What happened? Where'd you go?" You know what I'm saying? Did you go to the gym today? I'm like, "Dang." But I do know a lot of people watch, and there's a lot of people watching you, and you'll find, dude, if you just put stuff out there, like just document what you're doing, dude. You know, I heard Gary Vee once say, and I stole his concept. Brad Lee uses it too. The concept of like document, don't create. Yeah. And I'm a big fan of that because I don't like sitting in a corner going like 3, 2, 1, action and recording stuff.
Yeah.
But if I can document everything I'm doing, like we'll take stuff like this and put it on social, just chop it up, you know. But at your stage, all I did was the questions people asked me, I just recorded stuff on it. and, just document your daily life, dude. People are excited to see what you're doing and they're curious. A lot of folks in your position only share the end result. Like, hey, this many sales, this much premium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think it'd be cool to have people see what it's like to be out there in the field doing what you're doing. Show you getting up early, show you going to the gym before your dial day, show you on dial day, show you driving around, show walking into some of the houses you walk into and some of the trailers and some of the, they look like abandoned homes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I think it'd be cool for you to show the journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That would
And literally, dude, just go like this. Just hit record, bro. Like, who cares what it looks like? You know what I'm saying? Like I told you before we went live, if they don't like it, F them.
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to, is just worrying about what people think too much.
100%.
You just watch the video over and over and over. I don't like it. I messed up right there. Delete that. Just gotta post it.
Yeah, I love it. Give them some. Hold on, one person. Let's see. There's someone posted in here. I'm trying to read these comments. Now, if any of y'all have questions, you can post them. I'll put up. Otherwise, I'll just keep asking them questions. But if y'all want to know anything, certainly post it. Give them some like sales stuff, dude. Like, what have you learned? Because you weren't in sales in your previous deal, right? When I had nothing to do with sales, I assume it seemed pretty blue collar to me. Give them some things you've learned about people, man. Sales, if you will. You know what I mean? Some strategies, some things. I always like to let people leave this with something they can implement today. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the stuff we're talking about, great, but I want someone to be able to walk away and take something and use it on the phone later today, or use it in a home tomorrow, or whatever it is. So just something you've learned, dude, that's helped you. It can be anything, whether phone or in home. And if you need to be more specific, I can.
100%. I think definitely one of the most important things you have to realize, like as a new agent, and it's one of the hardest things to do whenever you're in a tough situation financially. Mm-hmm. But it's literally just making sure that you're keeping the client first, that you're literally separating your financial problems from their problem. Like you can't bring your financial problems into a situation where they already are not set up financially themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need protection to protect their families financially. And you can't go in there thinking about how am I going to feed my family, So you just have to make sure that, you're going in from a genuine place. And I think that's one thing that I've kind of, I'm pretty good at, is just being genuine and just, showing empathy to people, understanding their situations, and then just allowing them to kind of guide me in the direction where they're lacking, because they'll tell you what they have, and they'll act, it's funny because people with work coverage, like just work coverage, they'll act like it's the best coverage. Yeah. You're like, yeah, awesome. I'm so glad you have that. Take advantage of it. I tell everybody to just know that obviously if you leave, you retire, you become self-employed, get laid off, you no longer have the coverage. So it's just like, they'll tell you what you need to know. You just have to come from a genuine place and be open and listening, instead of trying to force a sales pitch or trying to talk over them,
Yeah. What are some of the things you do, like whether to overcome or prevent, like the evil, I want to think about it, or when people aren't tracking, you can feel like it's not a lay down sale. What are some of the things you do there in those situations to help?
Yeah. So that's definitely one of the biggest things, is like, I want to think about it. Not the biggest, but whenever you get in the home, as long as you're setting the table correctly, like it really comes down to how you're setting the table in the beginning, and just making sure they know who you are, why you're there, and what you're there to do. If you can explain that thoroughly and come across, like you're truly there to help them and you're not there to force a sales pitch on them, then they'll hear you out. And once they hear you out and they understand like what the coverage is and how it can truly help their family, it makes sense to a lot of people. So for them to tell you, like, we all have our, you can rebuttal it, right? Whenever you start to rebuttal I want to think about it, then it becomes kind of like you're forcing the sale.
Yeah.
So you can say stuff like, well, this is the only bill that pays all your other bills in the event of something actually happening to you, right? Because a lot of people will see this as a bill initially, like another bill that you have to pay each month. But if you can get them to realize that this is the only thing that's going to protect you and actually pay all those other bills. So when something happens to you, this is just a reallocation of your current money so that when something happens to you, you don't have to worry about, the light bill, the water bill, and everything else that's still going to come hit you. They don't care that you're in the hospital. Yeah. We care, we want your bills paid. So this is what's there to protect all that. And once they see that, it's pretty cut and dry.
I always try to explain to new agents, like when they go, they couldn't afford it. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense, because they have their income and then they have bills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however many bills they got, 15, whatever it is. And somehow you left the house and this was bill number 15. I'm like, you couldn't have got that thing to bill number 8. Like, you couldn't have shifted it up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it should be 1, but I'm like, you left there with it being the very bottom bill. That's weird to me that you couldn't move it up the ladder just a little. Yeah. And if you can help people with perspective, I had to learn how to ask really good questions to get them to tell me what things would look like. Obviously, that's what you're doing. What I want to hear, though, how you said set the table, which I love. I'm a big believer in setting expectations in all situations helps. So how do you set the table, man, when you get to someone? I'd love to hear what you say.
Yeah. So, it starts on the phone and your tonality. You have to, they have to kind of be accepting you when you get to the door in the first place. But obviously, hey, shoes on or off, you walk into the house, you sit down at the table, you're looking around for things to kind of relate to. But I don't build a whole lot of rapport. I kind of get right to the point because they're wondering why you're there. Right. Yeah. So you just, sit down with them. Hey, John, like I was saying on the phone, I'm not a sales rep here to push you into a product. I don't have a presentation or anything like that to show you. It's just my job to make sure you fully understand mortgage protection, how it works, what it can do for your family, how much it costs, and who would actually approve you. So first things first, this is my license with the state of Georgia, my carrier sheet. Like I said, I'm contracted with every company here in the state of Georgia offers programs, so I don't have like a dog in the fight. It's just my job to figure out which one would actually approve you. Right. So, and then obviously we need to make sure that it's comfortable within your budget and that, everything falls in place financially. So then we just kind of, I'll show them everything. Here's my license. Here's my driver's license. Feel free to come to my house. I'm at yours. And they all laugh at that. And then, then you just kind of cutting it up a little bit while you get your financial inventory sheet out. And then you go right into the financial inventory.
It's very presumptive. And getting them to let their guard down. Yeah. That's what I hear. Yeah. So you can just have a conversation.
Yeah.
I love it. This thing is really simple at its core. And I think a lot of us, myself included, man, those that know my story, I did not start out this thing quickly. I overcomplicated this thing so much. We made it harder than a lot of us make it harder than it needs to be. Right. So I love it. And the simplicity is key in a lot of situations.
Right.
I love it, dude. Give them some final takeaways, man. End of year, what can people, I don't know, just give them some final thoughts, whatever's on your heart, dude. I know you're a person that speaks from the heart, from your social. You just sometimes say what you're feeling. So give them whatever. We'll wrap with this because, I know you got stuff going on today. We want to let them get to their day. Just give them some final thoughts, dude.
So really, if you're at a point where you're at your last straw, like you there's only one shot left, take it. If you miss, there's literally like you haven't failed, right? You can always make another dollar. Even if I've seen my dad file for bankruptcy. I've seen him like go through financial collapse. Yeah. He's alive. He survived. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still living today and he's still, we're going to see him at Thanksgiving. It's fine. He's building himself back up. But if you hold on to it, like if you keep your fist closed and you don't allow yourself to let go of some of the things that you've already received, you won't be able to receive any more new blessings because your fist is already closed up. So nothing else can come in. You're not letting anything out. You're not paying it forward. So nothing is going to come back to you. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to give it all you got and, lay it all on the line, because if you believe in it and you put the work and the action, behind it, it'll pay out.
Yeah. Amen, brother. I love watching what you're doing, dude. Don't slow down. Keep killing it. You know what I mean? And build that core foundation that you have of fighting through hard stuff. Keep that, dude. Because although you're building something cool and there's more money, I promise you there's going to be more hard stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just know, like you told them, you can make it through more hard stuff, and keep inspiring people, dude. Let more people know what you're doing. Share it. This is dope to see. Don't overthink it, bro. Just put it out there. And you have the ability at 23. Dude, I'm 45, bro. And I think about the amount of people that I've been fortunate enough to play a small part of their role, of their journey in. Yeah. At 23, dude, the amount of people that you have the ability to go help, so take it and run with it, bro. You got a cool opportunity. You're in this industry at a really cool time.
Yeah.
And a lot of opportunity for a lot of people, a lot of folks looking at our industry, a lot of, traditionally this business is definitely older, like insurance-y type dude. This is becoming like a cool industry to be a part of.
Yeah, it
and
is.
Your wave, your generation is leading that.
Yeah.
And I see you as a front runner in that stuff, dude. So keep killing it, keep sharing, and keep blessing people, bro. I love what you're doing. If we can help y'all, let us know. As always, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We appreciate you guys, dude. Thanks for your time today, homie.
Yeah, man. Love you, dog. See ya.
All right. See y'all.